Hello, Internet. This is Alex does Sudokus, and it is Sunday, the 1st of November 2020. Hope you guys had a good Halloween. And yeah, let's have a look at some LA Times Sudokus today. And let's see, I'm just going to get myself ready. LA Times. Okay, so we're going to start from easy and work our way up to experts. So let's have a go then. Here we go. So, how does it look today? So, can't do anything with the ones, but I can see a 6 over here. Oh, I always have to undo the settings, which is really infuriating. I've got a 2 here, and let's see, can't see any more 2s, but I can see a 4 over there, and may as well stick with the 4s, but oh, I've run out of 4s already, so what about 3s? I've got a 3 over there. Let's see, that's a 3 as well, and that seems to be the dead end. So has 4 changed? Yes, that's now a 4, thanks to the 3 being in place, so that locks another 4 in. And I think that's all I can do with the 4s. 5s, 5 has to go here, which means this is a 7. Do I have any other 5s that I can speak of? Yes, I have a 5 over here and a 5 over there, so that must be a 5. So that's a 5 as well. So let's see, 6s. I have a bad feeling I've already messed up, but let's hope that I haven't. And put some 6s in. That's sort of 6s done. 7. 7, 7. 7's still a bit awkward. So 8. 8. I've got an 8 over here, 8 over here. And that's all I can do with the 8 for now. What about 9s? 9s. 9s are also a bit awkward actually. So I've got 9 over here, but there's still a lot left that are in the unknown. But I can play some 1s now. And again, that's an immediate dead end. So it's not the easiest of easy puzzles today. 3s. What about this then? This must be a 1, 2, 3, 4. That must be a 9, and this must be an 8. Oops. And if that's an 8, then that's an 8, and that's an 8. And also, I'm missing an 8 somewhere. Oh, it must be over here, which forms a 9 over there, a 9 over here, 9. Shouldn't be far now. Okay, so that's sort of 9's done. I've got 1's completed. Let's see. 3, 3. Nope, that's not a 3. I'm missing a 3 somewhere. Oh, this is concerning. Oh, I've broken a puzzle, haven't I? I have. Oh, I do struggle, definitely struggle with LA Times for some reason. But this is rather embarrassing. Maybe I should do pencil markings, but there's just something about the grid, maybe the way the grey colour works, that really confuses my eyes. Yeah, that's a solid excuse, I'm sure. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3s, 4s. It's like I have to pay extra attention with LA Times Sudokus because it's just really awkward. That must be a 4. So that's a 4. Can't tell anything else, so I do have a 6 over here because of the pointer pair of 6s. But let's go back to 5 for a second. 5, 5 has to go here, which means... What the hell? I've broken it again. Something's not right, and I don't know what. So 5, okay, 2s. Do I know that's definitely a 2? Maybe that's where I messed up. Oh, I've got an extra 2 in here, that'll be why. So 2 is up there. So, yeah, maybe the highlights are actually useful to prevent things like that from happening. But I'm not really sure what it is that really makes me struggle to read the grid. 3s. 4s. Yeah, I hate being so slow on the grid, but I don't think I have a choice. I just need to be like super careful because, oops, I seem to make a lot more mistakes on LA Times Sudokus than New York Times. So 8, that's got to be an 8, and that's got to be an 8. 9s, so 9s have to be one of these 2 cells, that one. And I've got 9s over there as well, so that's all the 9s. Okay, let's go back to 1s. That's all. No, I've already got a 1. See what I mean? I just completely blanked out on that 1. 2s. So 2, 2, 2, still not unlocking yet. 3's over here. My paranoia is definitely slowing me down here. So these are 1s and 4s, therefore these are 5 and 7s. Oh, in fact I have a 5 over there. Is that correct? I don't know, I just, This feels like every step of the way I'm making a mistake. So if that's a 5, then this must be a 9. Which unlocks another 9 there. Okay, so this is an 8. It's the only number left. Doesn't offer me... Oh, hang on. Offers me something here. So I think that's a 6, perhaps. Yep. So 6s should all be done. So 5s are done. 4s. How can 4s still not be done yet? Okay, let's move on to 8s. So I've got an 8 over there and an 8 over here, which locks another 8 there. So that locks a 1 and 1 and a 3 and a 3. So that locks a 1 and 1 over there. 1 has got to be there. 3 goes here, I guess. And 4 goes there and there. Finally, I've got 2 and 2. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, that was a bit worrying and embarrassing. So, medium puzzles. Let's see. Yeah, let's do pencil markings for medium, just in case. Because if I'm making mistakes on easy, who's to say that I'm going to do well on medium? 3, so that's going to be a 3, which means I've got a pair of 3s there. So 3s are locked in row 7 and 9 in 2 cages. Therefore, there must be 1 in row 8. So I think that's sort of 3s that I can play with. So 4s are here, which locks a further pair of 4s there. Can't see anything else with 4s, but I can lock a pair of 5s there because this 5 locks a pointer triple. So one of the things that I like to do is, oh, do you know what? One thing I haven't done is look at the chat. So I think I need to, let's see, open container in Sudoku, and let's see, anytime Sudoku. Good, there's no one in chat. Not that I was expecting anyone from chat, but let's see. I'm just going to play with my settings a little bit in YouTube. So this is, that was New York Times. This one is LA Times. YouTube, LA Times chat. And I can put it, there we go. Okay, so now if someone stumbles upon my my live stream, they'll be able to see, yeah, they'll be able to talk to me now. So okay, so let's so yeah, the reason I do incremental numbers, I focus on a number at a time, is for instances like this where I may find a pointed triple where with Snyder notations, which is what I use, I typically don't pencil mark them in because I'm lazy, but also kind of for consistency's sake. Most of the time you don't need to pencil mark in the triples. But if I don't pencil mark in the triples, it's easy to miss the fact that there's a hidden pointed triple there. If I focus on a cage at a time, I may focus on this cage and only see a 5 and not realize that there's a pointed triple looking into my same cage, basically. So it means for each cage, I have to do more soul searching, so to speak. But if I focus on a number at a time, I scan over here, find a hidden triple, hidden pointed triple, and I use that immediately to scan back towards the other cages. So this is why I do a number at a time to spot those kind of patterns. So let's move on to sixes now that I've spotted that. So anything on the sixes, I've got a 6 over here because of these 2 6s and that 6. So that locks a further 6 over there. Let's see. So does that bring me any joy? No, it doesn't. So let's put a 7 in here because of these 2 7s, which locks a 1 there. And that 1 doesn't unlock anything extra for us over here. So let's look at a 7. The 7 unlocks a 7 down here because of the 7 and the 7. So that just erased a 3, which unlocks the 3s for us. Because when you erase a pencil marking with just 2 notations per cage, then you know immediately that the other one must be correct. So so that also unlocks a pair of 7s over here and a pair of, well, actually a 7 and a 5 because I've got 2 7s on the rows and a 7 on the column, and I just erased a 5, which gives me the 5 pencil marking. So now here I've got a 1 and 9 pair, but I've got 9 up there, so 1 and 9 can be resolved, which unlocks a pair of 9s over there. Trying to do more things, so that also unlocks a pair of 1s there. Okay, so that's the 1s and 9s done. Can I do anything with the 5? 5 locks a pair of 5s over there. Can't see anything else. What about 7? 7 doesn't quite lock anything in. So, okay, so that's what we can do for now. I've got some triples developing in these cages, so let's have a quick look at them. These are 5, 6, and 9. I've got 9 over here, so these must be 9s. So whilst I normally just do 2 pencil markings at a time, in a case where I've got a triple, it is useful to pencil mark them in because then it becomes easier to, sometimes when I scan, I can spot interesting patterns. So similarly, I've got 2, 4, and 8. So I've got a pair of 8s over there. So I've got 8s locked in these 2 cages on the same 2 columns. So 8s must be in one of these 2 cells. In fact, if I look at the column, this has to be a pair of 8s and, what is it, 8s and 2s. Okay. So kind of useful, I suppose. Okay, so let's just resume doing pencil markings with the 5s. So can I do any more eliminations with the 5s? Not that I can see, so let's move on to 6s. 6s, similarly, I haven't got any more unlocking, so 7s are locked in these 2 cells because of these 2 7s, and that's it. 8s are locked in these 2 cells. I've already found the 8s up there. 8s are locked in 3 different cells, 3 different cells. So let's move on to 9s. I've got a pair of 9s there because of these 2 9s. These 2 9s have locked the 9. Oh, actually, the 9s. Well, I've got 2 sets of 9s locked in. In these 2 cages, the 9s have to be on rows 2 and 3. Therefore, there has to be a 9 up here on row 1. But I've got 9 here. I've got pointer pair of 9s there as well. So I can confirm the 9 is in fact here. So where do we go now? I'm a little bit curious about this cage. So what haven't I pencil marked in is 4s and 5s. Okay, so I can't do anything with that. So now what's probably worth doing is having a look at the weak areas. So any areas like columns, rows, having an example rows, or cages that have 3 or less cells, you can expand that into 4 cells if you feel confident. But before I do, I notice there's a 4 up here because of this 4 and that 4. So that locks a pair of 4s in here. So now I've got a 1-4 pair in these 2 cells because I've only got 2 cells for the 1s and the 4s. So if they both share the same cells, they form a matching pair. So that pushes any other numbers out. So 9 is now pushed out, and I can't do anything with that. But in this cage now, I've only got a single number left, so it must be a 5. And if the 5 is there, then I have a pair of 5s over here, and I have a pair of 5s over there as well. So good progress. So let's go back to looking at weak areas. So I've got a triple over here. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for 4, 6, and 9. Okay, so 6 can't go there, nor the 4, because I've got 4 and 6 there already. So this must be a 9. So I'm left with 4 and 6. And they can be in either cell, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. But I am going to scan with the 9. Can I place the 9 anywhere? No, I can't. So let's move on. Well, interestingly, I have another triple forming here and here. So finally, I have some triples on the rows. Well, why is this a triple? Because, well, I've got a pair of 1s and 4s, so they're ruled out from any other numbers. So the only numbers that are kind of like free roaming at the moment are 2, 5, and 8. So they have to be locked in here as a triple. Unfortunately, I don't think I can see enough numbers to actually make any deductions. What about the other 3 cells? They are the same. They're also 2, 5, and 8. And I also can't see enough to make a deduction. So I think maybe it's better that I do another scan of the numbers. So let's just do that. 1s. So 1s and 3 possible cells in here and nothing else. 2s. 2s. Can't see any. Oh, hang on. I've got. No, that's a lie. I thought I've got a 2 somewhere. But let's see. This 2 and that 2. That's a pattern I'm quite bad at spotting. They form a pair of 2s up there. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it's useful because I've got 3 numbers in 4 cells. So if I can push a 4th number in there, then they'll form a quadruple and force a pairing over here. Oh, actually, before I move on, I've got a triple of 2, 4 and 5. I can see 2 and 4 looking into this cell. So I actually know that it can't be 2 or 4. I'm looking for 2, 4 and 5. So this must be a 5, which unlocks the 5s over there. And that unlocks a 6 here, which unlocks a 9 and a 5. So I kind of did some erasing just to make it a bit easier to see what's going on. But normally I would just basically place the numbers. So what can I do with that? Well, I can place a 9 over here because of these 2 9s and that 9, locking the 9 in there. So let's finish the 9s. So all the 9s are done. So let's rewind back to this cage. What did I place? I placed a 9, 5. Okay, so let's look at the 5. Can't do anything with it because both horizontally and vertically I've done all the 5s. So what about 6s? Well, I've got 6 locked in there because of that 6 and that 6. So this 6 further opens up a 6 over here, erasing a 4. So the 4 is now placeable, which places a 4 there and a 4 there. So these are now 2s and 8s. That 4 also opens up the 1 and 4 over there. And I think I should be closing in. Oh, that 4 also unlocks a 4, 2 and 7 over here. So all the 4s are done. And I've done a lot just now, so it's worth taking stock of what's going on. So this 8 unlocks an 8 up there, which leaves me a 2. And this is also a 2 and 8 pair. And since I've got 2 looking into that cell, I can unlock it. Anything else interesting? I've got a 2 down here as well, because it's the only number left in this cage. And that 2 further unlocks a 2 up there because I've got the 2s ruling out that cell and a 2 over there. So this 2 unlocks the 2 and the 8 over there as well. And finally on that row I've only got a 5 left. And in this cage I've only got an 8 remaining. So this 8 locks a pair of 8s there, but also in this row I'm left with 1s and 5s. I've got a 5 over there, so I can resolve the 1s and the 5. So the 5, well, let's actually place the 1 first, because these 2 1s rule out these cells and that one rules out that cell. So the 5's in one of these 2 cells, but I've got a 5 there, so because of the 2 5's ruling out those 2 cells. So all the 5's are done as well. So 6s and 7, hold on, 2 and 8. Well, something's not right on it. So, oh dear, have I broken the puzzle? Because I can't have 2 and 8 here, because 2 and 8 can't go in that cell. So I've broken the puzzle again. That's frustrating. I don't do these mistakes on New York Times. I don't know why I keep doing that on LA Times at all. So, oh, I've got 2 2s in there, so I don't trust the 2s anymore now. So 2 has to go here. So that forces a 2 and 7 and 8. So 8 is up there and 8 is down there, which means this is now a 7. Assuming that these are still correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goes there, 2 goes here, and 8 goes there. So thankfully, I was able to rescue that puzzle. Let's move on to hearts. Oh boy. So let's have a look. I can place a 1 here straight away. So let's get rid of these. They're both distracting and helpful at the same time, so it's a bit annoying. So yeah, these 2 ones I should have been alerted to that 1 over there. So that forms a pointed pair of 1s here, which means the 1s are down here. These 2 1s locks a pair of 1s there. And finally, I've got 3 possible 1s down here. So let's move on to 2s. Well, 2s, I've got a pointed triple here thanks to this 2. So 2s must be in these 2 cells, but I've got 2 looking into one of the cells. So, is that all I can do with the 2s? I think so. So let's look at these 2 cells first. They are 6 and 4. I can't see either. So let's move on to 3s then. So 3s. Got a pair of threes there and a pair of threes there because of that three and that three, forming a pointed pair of threes and another pair of threes there. I can't really see anything else, so I'm going to move on to fours. Fours, got a pair of fours there because of that four and that four. So that unlocks a triple over there, but that's not really useful right now. Okay, let's move on to fives. Fives, I've got a pair of fives there because of these two fives. Oh, hang on. I've got a 5 over there as well because of these two 5s locking the columns and that 5 locking the row. So that unlocks a pair of 5s over there. I also have a pair of 5s here because of these two 5s. So that unlocks a 5 there because of the pointed pair. So that just leaves me 3 possible 5s to be pencil marked in there, I believe. Okay, so let's move on to 6s. I have a pair of 6s there because of these two 6s. And I think that's... Oh, no, I've got another 6 here because this 6 rules out that cell, forcing the 6s to be in these 3 cells, or rather rows 4 and 5. And I can't place a 6 on row 6 here, so it has to be on 4 and 5. So therefore the 6s have to be in one of these 2 cells, but I've got 6 seeing into one of the cells, so that was useful. But I think that's all I can do because I've got 3 possible places there. So let's move on to 7s. So I have a pair of 7s there because of these two 7s forming a matching pair of 4s and 7s. Wonder if that comes in handy later. 7s, got pointed triple here, so not useful right now. So let's move on to 8s. So 8 and 8 locks a pointed pair. So I've got another pair of 8s there, but this 8 forces the 8 in here. Oh, pardon me. And these two 8s forces the 8 to be in these 2 cells, but I've got an 8 there seeing into that cell, so 8 is here, which unlocks another 8 because of these two 8s and that 8's there. So most of the 8s are done. That's another 8 because of these two 8s. So that just erased a 3, so I've unlocked another 3 and another pair of 3s there because of that 3. So nothing else I can see with the 3, so let's go back to the 8s. I feel I'm closing in. I should... Oh, there we go. So this 8 also unlocks an 8 over there, so all the 8s are done. Let's move on to 9s then. So 9s. Anything useful? Well, if there are, I'm not seeing it, so I can't see anything else with the 9s. So now I'm going to do my usual, which is to look at the weak areas. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's have a look at this triple forming there. I was just looking at the chat just in case I've got the settings wrong. What am I looking for? I've got a pair of matching 4s and 7s there, so I can rule out those cells and look at this triple. They are 2, 6 and 9. Okay, 2, 6 and 9. I've got 6 over there, but nothing else, so can't do this. Actually, I've got a pair here, which is 3s and 4s, and I do have a 4 there, so that does lock the 3 and 4 in. And that 4 unlocks another pair of 4s because of the columns being taken. This 4 locks a pair of 4s there, which also locks another pair of 4s here. So that's kind of useful. And I can't see anything else with the 4s. So, anything else? Hang on, that can't be a 4 anyway because of the pointed pair of 4s. So, the 4 is actually locked down. Because these have to be 2, 6 and 9. And I know 6 can't go there, but the 6 can go everywhere. Ah, okay, so these two 6s, I should rule out all of these cells, and I've got a 4, 7 pair there. So the 6 can only go there, actually. Oh, I could have spotted that by just looking at the fact that these two cells both see a 6. So these are now 2s and 9s. I don't think I can use that yet, but I do have a pointer pair of 2s here. The 2s and 9s are in these 2 cells. So, anything interesting going on? Not that I can see. So I still have the 4 and 6 here, so that's a bit annoying. Do I have any other weak areas that I can attack? So weak areas are just like any dimensions, like rows, columns, and cages that has some 3 or less numbers. Or actually, I'm going to expand that to 4 and look at this quadruple and that quadruple. Actually, I've got 3 quadruple. Yeah, I've got multiple quadruples. Well, I know this is a 2 and 9. So anyway, let's look at which one am I looking at first? This one, because I've got 1 and 2. Well, in fact, this is the only place the 1 can go anyway, because the 1 can't go in these 2 cells. So I can unlock the 1 and the 2. So that was useful. So that now locks the 2 there, and the 2 and 9 are resolved. And that locks a pair of 9s there. And now these have to be 1, 9, and 7. So I do pencil mark in triples, even though I generally adopt the Snyder notations. Let's see, just moving the mic a little bit. So now I have a pair developing in here, which are, let's see, threes and 9s. Okay, 3s and 9s. So 3s are also locked in those two columns. 9s and 4 possible cells. Actually, yeah, that can't be a 9 anyway. So, okay, so, oh, I've got another pair of 9s there because of that 9 and that 9. Not that it helps me right now. Okay. So let's look at this triple now then. I know this is at least a 6, a 4, and something else. In fact, it's 5. So 5s are locked as a pointer pair now. So this can't be a 5 anymore, resolving the 5 and a 9. And that 9 unlocks another 9 over here because it looks into this cage, and that 9 looks into the cage. So that unlocks another 9 up here by simply erasing the pencil marking. So closing in now. Let's see. I've got loads of possible areas to look at now, so I'm trying to hone in on just any triples. Like here, I've got 4, 6, and 7. Can't resolve that. So anything else? I've got another triple here, so this is 3, 2. So 2s have to be over. Oops, 2s have to be. Oh, actually, the 2 has to be there. So 2 can't go there, so 2 had to go over in these 2 cells anyway, but I've got 2. So that unlocks another 2, unlocks another 2, so all the 2s are done. Now, what else can I do? These are 3s and 6, and I've got a 6 looking into that cell, so 3 and 6 are resolved, so that resolves the 3 and 4 as well. This 6, I'm pretty sure, is powerful. Yep, because it unlocks another 6 up there, which unlocks the 6. Oh, and that 4 was already done anyway, so 4 and 5 unlocks the 4 and 7. And the 7 is now locked in here, here, here. So that unlocks the 1, 4, and 3 as well. This 7 unlocks the 1 and a 7 over here because of that 7 and that 7. So that unlocks the 7 and 9. And that unlocks the 9, 9, and 3. And this has to be the 5, which means this is a 4, which unlocks the 4 and 5. What's on this column? 7. No. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, and this is missing a 1, this is missing a 3, and this is missing a 6. And that's today's LA Times hard Sudoku. So let's finish up on the expert, where I'm probably going to struggle. So let's do some pencil markings. Put the 1s in. I've got a pair of 3s there, but also 2s up there. So 2s are also in these 2 cells, so I've got a matching pair already, which forms another pair of 2s down there. Just gonna have a sip of water. Oh, refreshing. Freeze over here. Oh, God damn it. I hate having to do that every single day, but I don't really have a choice. Got freeze over here as well, so have I got anything locked down on the freeze? No, I haven't. So let's pencil mark in the 4s now. 4s. Nothing else on the 4s. Hopefully today there will be audio on the LA Times, since I have set it up correctly, I think. Yesterday I made a mistake with the Twitch stream and messed up the audio, so that was disappointing that the LA Times Sudoku didn't have any audios. And unfortunately I won't find out until later whether this worked or not. I've got 5 here because of these 2 5s and that 5 there, so that unlocked the 3 as well, which unlocks another 3 there because of that 3 and that 3. So that oh, hang on, that wasn't a 5 to start with, so but that is definitely a 3, right? No, maybe not. 3 3. I've got a pair of 3s there. It's actually 5 and 3 over there. Oh my god, making mistakes so early. Just checking my notes to make sure I am correct. Well, I say notes, just pencil markings. So 3's up here as well because of these 2 3s. So now I've got a 3 locked in this row because the 3s are locked in rows 1 and 2 in 2 separate cages. So therefore the 3 has to go here because these 2 columns are taken already. So finally, let's move on to 4s. Oh, I was already on 4s anyway. I've done 4s, but I had new information basically pertaining to where the 4s could be pencil marked in. I've got another 5 there because of these 2 5s and that 5, so that further unlocks the 5. So all the 5s are done. So friendly so far. 6 is locked in there because of that 6 and that 6, so that unlocks the 4. So I guess today we have a friendly puzzle because these 2 6s locks a 6 over there as well. So yeah, it's looking quite promising in terms of being resolved. 7s are up here because of these 7s. Now this is interesting. I've got 7s also locked in rows 1 and 2 because of that 7 and that 7. So 7s have to be here. Have I got any other numbers that follow the same pattern? No. Okay, 7's also locked in these 2 cells because they're single 7s, so that's pretty powerful. 8s are down here because of that 8, which locks the 8s there. So I've got a 4 8 matching pair pushing the 2s out. So I nearly penciled in 2s up there, so just goes to show I am quite sloppy. These 2s locks a pair of 2s over there. Got nothing else going on. So what was I looking at before? Was it the 8s? Or was it the 7s? Maybe even 6s? I don't know. I've got some 8s pencil marked in, so I'm going to guess it's the 8s. Well, I've got an 8 and 8 over there, which locks an 8 in because the 2 and 3 matching pair locks out those 2 cells. That further resolves a 7 for us here, which locks a pair of 7s there. But also the 8 forces an 8 in here. I also have a 1 9 pair in this cage, and this is a triple of 1s. Let's see, 1s, 9s, and 1 9 and 4, so they can go anywhere. So let's move on. Also here I've got 1s and 6s, but I've got 1 over there, so I can actually resolve the 1 and the 6. That locks a pair of 1s over here. The 6 is now locked in here. That locks a pair of 6s up there. So I think all the 6s are pencil marked in up here. And the 1s, can I do anything else with the 1s? Not right now. So let's look at these 2 cells because it's a pair, and it's a pair of 7s and 9s, and I've got 9 looking into this cell, so 7 and 9 are resolved, which resolves another 7 here and a 7 there. This 7 also resolves the 7 here and resolves the 3, the 2 and 3 there. And this 2 locks a pair of 2's over there. So let's further look at the 7's, because I feel like I must have, yeah, that's the final 7. So, so yeah, that was healthy. 8 is now locked in here because of those 2 8's. So I also have a pair of 8's there, but also this can't be an 8 anymore. So 4 and 8 are resolved, and 4 has to go here now because of that 4. So 4 and 8 are resolved. I still haven't finished all the 8's. Maybe that's the final 8. And 4's now up here. So this is a 4-9 pair, but I see a 4 down there. So 9 and 4 are resolved. So let's see, does a 9 do anything else? The 9 forces a 9 over here, which unlocks the 1 and 9 and 1 and 2. So 2's are locked in these 2 cells. But I'm going to stop pencil marking things in because I think I may be able to solve it without further pencil markings. This has to be a 1 that locks a pair of pointed 1's there, so that resolves the 1 and 2 down there. And this 2 locks a 2 over there, so all the 2's are done. So I've got 1 and 6 up there, which means this must be a 4. And the final 4 must be here and here. So that unlocks the 6 and the 1 and the 1 and the 9 and the 9 here and the 9 there. And that's today's LA Times Expert Sudoku. Quite an easy one today. It is quite inconsistent, I find, the LA Times Sudoku difficulties. Mind you, the same thing happens with New York Times. And I think that's the problem of using machines to develop the puzzles, really. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's puzzles. I will put in the description. I should have said this at the beginning, so I will remind myself to do this in the intro, but I'm going to chapter or the timestamp or the different difficulties puzzles, basically. So so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I know I do them quite early in UK times and quite late in US times, but yeah, I just thought I'd try out streaming, and it makes it a bit easier for me to not have to worry about uploading later. So anywho, I shall see you guys tomorrow.